Today, Kasoma Farouk of Uganda is going around the oceans to discuss the factors that delayed the unification of Italy. The factors that delayed the unification of Italy. So you hear this. Before 1870, the country known as Italy did not exist in Europe as a nation. At one time, they were called Italian states. For example, Lombardy, Venetia, Tuscany, among others. It took great men in Italy to fight for the unification. Among them, Count Camillo Ceval. Among them, Garibaldi. These ones were key people who fought for the unification of Italy. So I can tell you, Italy got its unification in 1870. But before getting its unification, there were some factors that delayed the unification of Italy. Number one, the Vienna settlement of 1815. The diplomats at Vienna put the control of most of the Italian states under Austria. So whenever the Italians rose up to fight for their unification, they were fearing the diplomats at where? At Vienna. Because the diplomats made Austria to control most of the Italian states. So the Vienna settlement delayed the unification of Italy. Another one, the Congress system. Congress system, these were a series of meetings. Series of what? Meetings. Even after Vienna settlement, they say, whenever we get a problem, we need to sit. So they used to sit in the congresses called Congress system. So the diplomats of the Congress system were against the unification of Italy. And by this time, some people feared to join the struggle for unification for fear of the diplomats of the Congress what? System. So we are saying the Congress system delayed the struggle for the unification of Italy. Then the Metternich system. I can tell you, Metternich had what you call a high spy network. He put spies everywhere to see all of those fighting for the unification. And he could crush and kill all of those fighting for the unification of Italy. And by this time, some people left the struggle for fear of Metternich and his what? System. I can tell you, Metternich had a very high spy network. He could get to know whatever you are doing, even in the middle of your houses. That was Metternich. So by this time, the Metternich system delayed the unification of Italy. Then the French interference in the affairs of Italy. I can say one time Napoleon III intervened in the affairs of Italy. Even you remember Napoleon I, when he was sent by the director government to go and liberate Italy from Austria, he put the French rule on the what? On the Italians. So there is no way Italy was going to get its what? Unification. Sacrifice in terms of money. Sacrifice in terms of everything until a state called Italy got its what? Unification. Then a lack of foreign assistance. Weak as they were, the Italians, how were they going to get their unification when Austria was stronger than them? So it is said, lack of foreign assistance explains why Italy delayed to get its what? Unification. Because Austria was great economically, without foreign assistance, there is no way Italy was going to get its what? Unification. Friends, it took sacrifice in terms of money until the Italians were liberated. They were what? Liberated. Another one, lack of a broad-based mobilization. It is said the mobilizers were based in towns and they neglected villages. They neglected what? Villages. The question is, how were the Italians going to get the information about the Italian unification when the mobilizers were based in towns and they were not in where? Villages. Moreover, many people were living in where? In villages. So it is this that explains why Italy delayed to get its unification, because the mobilizers were based in where? In towns, and they neglected what? Villages. Another one, we are saying in this kind of arrangement, the economic backwardness, weak as they were economically, how were the Italians going to get their unification when they were economically what? Backward. They needed the money, which money was supposed to be used to liberate the different Italian states. But economically they were what? Backward. So there is no way the Italians were going to get their what? Unification. Then lack of great modern transport and communication. There was poor transport and communication, and this made it difficult for the liberators to move from one area to another. And this explains why we are saying Italy delayed to get its what? Unification. I can tell you it was not easy. Then selfishness of the Italian leaders. Some people refuse to join the struggle, claiming that if you don't choose me as a leader, I cannot join the what? The struggle. Selfishness of some Italian leaders explains why Italy delayed to get its what? Unification. Then the military weakness of the Italian states. We are saying today, weak as they were militarily, how were they going to overpower the great Austria? So the military weakness explains why Italy delayed to get its what? Unification. Because militarily, the Italians were very what? Were very weak. So there was a need for military strength if they were to get it right. Then ideological differences. Some Italians wanted to be led by a president. Others did not want a what? A president. They disagree. Now the question is, how were the Italians going to be liberated by this time when members had differences in ideology? Then disunity among the Italian nationalists. We are saying today, the Italian nationalists at first, they were not united together for a common goal of uniting what? Italy. So there is no way Italy was going to get its what? Unification. Then another issue, there was lack of able leadership. It is said, able leadership, leaders like Giuseppe at first were based in towns. They neglected villages. So there is no way the Italians were going to be liberated. We are going to be what? Liberated. Then lack of a national language. Lack of a national what? Language. There is no way they were going to communicate when they were lacking a national what? Language. First write this scenario item.